Um, we're live, it says. You know what though? For going live, what I want to do first is just play this clip because it provides context to all the other stuff. There's sort of a Christmas miracle that happened today, if you will, if you can, if you will.
The inevitable Christmas miracle.
Inevitable. What? Run that by me again, one more time. But the we did actually like 4 fucking videos about this that we just pre-recorded and we're going to put up, like in a week. And all of a sudden today it just escalated even more. And so we're going to
This one
we're
needs to be
going to
covered. This is now breaking news. This is not an oddity or an amusement. This is like this needs to be covered now.
it needs to be said.
So it's going to go up sooner than the others.
Yeah. And the others, most of those are going to go up on our Subscribe Star, which people tried to false flag. People in Comicsgate. I mean, there's no way around that. Comicsgate false flags our channel. Most of them admit it. In fact, something we weren't going to get into because we're like, oh, we'll do a short stream. But real quick, yesterday I was watching some of Liam's streams, and he's just suffering and miserable. It feels so good.
Oh, satisfying.
Just sick pleasure. But the thing is,
Like
he's
watching a
miserable
feminist
because
be tortured.
he's miserable because of the consequences of his own actions that he doesn't understand, which is pathetic and pitiable. And he has my pity, but that's only because pity is the worst thing you can give a person. Um, but to go into some of the stuff that happened a
It's
few
the
days
kind of
ago, and in
pity,
fact,
we won't even go into it, but it's the kind of pity that people would not want.
a shitty pity, if you will. But actually, yesterday, even Tim Lim and Doug Ernst did a stream addressing this very thing. So if you saw the stream, you'll have some awareness of the context. But then other shit happening as well that is just kind of kind of bizarre how much it just snowballed over the course of like a day, and in a way that's kind of secretive. But here, let's. Uh, well, this video isn't fully related to it, but what happened is Richard C. Meyer, ya boy Zach, ya cuck Zach, um, he I mean, we call him that because he didn't have the balls to fucking stand by his friend Nurkish or guys like Tim and Mark originally back in the day in like 2018, 2019. And then over the past week or two, he's suddenly been doing these sort of emergency sort of damage control panic cope streams where he started off just mentioning iconic comics because it's unavoidable the success that Tim and Mark
He's
and
been
Doug
denying
Ernst
it
and fucking
for far too
Alejandro
long.
Mirabal have had over the past few months, just growing. And fucking Richard Judd did these stupid videos where he's like, "Who's the president and CEO of Iconic Comics?" Because Richard wants to contact him. Obviously, he wants to get in touch with whoever's doing, because he thinks very clearly. Richard thinks that Iconic is a publisher, and he's thinking, "Oh, if they publish for me, I don't have to pay out of pocket for publishing."
I'll
But
save
they're not a
even more. I'll
publisher.
be able to scam even more money out of my backers.
Yeah, he'll be able to pocket more money for the printing and the shipping that normally he would have to pay for with the crowdfunding campaign. Because none of these people, Richard C. Meyer has no idea what crowdfunding campaigns are for, and nobody in Comicsgate knows either. We've proven that objectively back in 2017 and 2018 when we asked them and got them to give all the incorrect answers, where they say that, like even one of the Liam shows I watched yesterday while playing fucking shitty Dark Souls. Ugh. But he was saying that, I thought that's what crowdfunding was all about, was go big or go home. That's what they think crowdfunding is for. Here's what crowdfunding was always for, as we said from the very beginning before Comicsgate ever existed. Crowdfunding is to receive money to get your comic made. That's what crowdfunding is for. It's not for printing your comic. It's not for adding baubles and little fucking trinkets and bonus things and using the numbers to fucking as like a gun to hold other people hostage, or as some kind of gloating tactic to say you're not with us and we make this money, which in a way isn't actually the indicator. Like the fact that they Comicsgate's constantly bring up how much money they made shows that Comicsgate doesn't actually make any money on Indiegogo, but we've gone into that in various other videos. If you want to fucking go into the deeper lore of that, just donate to our subscribe star. And there's lots of videos going into how the numbers are actually crunched with Indiegogo, where you can make fake backers and donate fake money that doesn't exist to artificially inflate your padding, crowdfunding, and all that shit. But the point of crowdfunding is not to trigger the lips and own the lips or whatever gay shit like that. The point of crowdfunding is to have an idea and to try to sell that idea to people, and so they give you the money so you can make the idea. That's it. And a lot of people in Comicsgate will say that and no joke, we've had people say this to us, including guys like John Malin, who says the point of crowdfunding is to first have 1,000 people subscribing to you on YouTube. And right off the bat, wrong. You can make.
I mean, it's not just wrong. It's a middle finger to anyone who has ever wanted to make anything.
To anyone who has principles about anything, and also proven false by the fact that look at Tim and Mark's channel. They only recently got 1,000 subscribers on their YouTube, but their campaigns actually sell more. They sell more to more people that are real verified customers, because Kickstarter makes you verify each customer and the amount of money that they donate, whereas Indiegogo doesn't. That's why Comicsgate always used Indiegogo, because you could create fake backers and donate fake money. And I don't mean fake money like Bitcoin. I mean, you can donate $1,000 and simply just never pay it. Cancel your credit card, call your credit card and say no. But then that money still shows up on the total regardless. Even if you get a refund, it shows up on the total. And if you pay like $10 for a comic, but $500 for shipping, it would show up as $510 for the comic. So, Indiegogo has a lot of these tricks to inflate the numbers built in, and zero transparency. That's why Indiegogo is preferred for a lot of people who ultimately never delivered. Like the Jim Norton thing and the Patrice O'Neill documentary, the Chip Chipperson cartoon that took tens of thousands of dollars and basically got swallowed up into nothing. The preview they showed for that was complete garbage. The Patrice O'Neill thing, that money was just sort of taken. It was just pocketed. And there was a lot of suspicious stuff, like the fucking his wife, his lovely wifey, was openly saying, what if we want to take go film in Italy or something? And it's like, why? Because he once went there. And it's like, you're just taking this money for a vacation then ultimately, aren't you? Just say you want to fucking have extra money. But they all used Indiegogo, whereas on Kickstarter it has to be more legitimate. So there's a lot of fake narratives about fucking, Comicsgate got banned from Kickstarter. That didn't actually ever happen. But again, we go into that in some of the other videos.
It's easy to fool a lot of those plebs.
All of it's public knowledge, though. All of it's public information. Just nobody else digs. Nobody does the digging. Nobody does the due diligence. We don't even do that. People come to us and tell us, hey, here's why this and that. And it's like, wow, that's interesting. Anyways, but I wanted to play this because Richard did these videos about how suddenly he's noticing the success of iconic comics and this and that. But we did videos about that, and those will go up eventually. But I forgot to play this clip that was very telling. So here, I'm going to play this now. You should actually be able to hear it because it's the magic of fucking StreamYard. But here.
But, the stock market goes up and down. I've lost more than people like this make. I've lost twice as much than people like this make in an entire year in the last 3 weeks or so. And I'm chilling. Ethan Van Sciver's chilling. Billy Tucci's chilling. All these people are chilling.
That's a tell for anyone who's not familiar with human behavior, which if you're into comic books, you're not aware in any way of human behavior and how people behave in real life. Is what they do is they say one thing that in reality the exact opposite is when they're really in trouble, especially when, say, for example, you've just admitted to losing tens of thousands of dollars.
Especially
And
for somebody who he's acting like he's Gordon Gekko. He
yeah,
really can't afford that.
and the thing is, clearly you could tell he's not chilling because, to start with, all the curiosity about iconic comics, not just from him though, and in fact, that was the other interesting thing. Got to put this on here. Share window. Yes. 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 Oh wait, this isn't it. But here's a nice, for a nice happy Christmas. I like the Christmas, the snowman, the snow troll, if you will, in the background here. He's wearing an ass hat. But anyways, here's the thing. Donald DeLay noted for stealing money from his writer and not paying him and bragging about it for years, saying, "Ha ha, you'll never get that money that I promised you." From it was like thousands of dollars that he owed Nasser, that he was gloating publicly about never paying him, and he was backed up by Ethan Van Sciver. And so eventually Nasser actually said, "I'll kiss the ring, I'll do whatever you want," to Ethan, hoping that maybe Ethan would help encourage Donald to give him the money, as being part of Comicsgate. And as far as I know, that still hasn't happened. I don't keep up with that because it's not really my business. But today, earlier in the morning on delightful Christmas Eve, after ya boy Zach had done several videos being like, "Oh, Tim and Mark are having so much success with Common America and iconic comics. Who's running their business?" Because that's also a tell that something's going wrong behind the scenes with not just Comicsgate, but personally, as Richard said, losing tens of thousands of dollars in the past couple of weeks.
He's ignored this for a really long time too.
Yeah.
I mean, partly because he was ordered to.
Yeah, for years, Richard C. Meyer was told explicitly by Ethan Van Sciver behind the scenes, do not talk about their comics. Don't talk about Tim and Mark. Don't bring them up. Don't talk about iconic
Don't review
comics.
them. Don't even mention them. Don't bring up their names.
Yeah, you're not allowed to mention them. That's what happened behind the scenes. The thing is, it was only Richard who really needed to be told that. But Richard is lately he's been going off the rails where he's sort of babbling incoherently and losing the plot. People who have been subscribed to him for years are like, "What's wrong? What's going on with Richard?" Like months ago, last year, we were getting messages from people who subscribed to him. Like, I listened to his videos while on the treadmill or whatever, and it sounds like he's losing his fucking mind. And it's like, wow, that's weird. And I would listen to them myself, and I would be like, oh, it kind of sounds like the same old Richard. He was always pretty stupid. He was wrong about, he was incredibly stupid about all sorts of things. But there's something seems to be a little mind torn about him, the same way Liam Gray did. I mean, because when you back something all the way and you see it collapse in front of you, you'll never just come out and admit that you were wrong, but you'll start getting all weirdly flustered and shit. And we have seen that with, Ethan. We've actually made Ethan fucking have these fucking like panic attacks and go all flustered. We've done it to all sorts of people. Like we've done it to Ethan Ralph. We've done it to Nick Rekieta. And, we've seen it happen with Richard and fucking, it's starting to really spread though. So today, Donald, noted thief and a guy you should never work with because he'll steal your money as he has done to other people, says in this tweet, I owe POTUS Thump, that's Tim Lim, an apology. Always a nice guy when we interacted, and I never saw him be part of any kind of drama. As opposed to what? Sorry, simply just believing nasty rumors without questioning it. Why wouldn't you question it? Why would you believe nasty rumors without questioning it? We've never done that. Fucking, it's weird how often that's happened in Comicsgate, though.
Very weird.
And the
very
whole
suspicious.
Like even the whole fandom menace, I stand with Vic, kick Vic, all of those SJWs, all of those people are constantly doing that, and we never have. And that's why, the people in the know end up listening to us, because we are constantly being right, because we don't just believe nasty rumors without questioning them. Keep up the great work in setting crowdfunding standards. It's inspiring. Now, this is clearly this is almost a little too obvious. It's too on the nose, if you will. Of the ship is sinking in Comicsgate. In fact, something not just Richard losing a ton of money recently, but something else is going on. Very clearly from this behavior. We don't know what it is. We can irresponsibly speculate, but it would be irresponsible speculation, which is for sure wrong. And that would be bad. But following this, as if to fucking to really cement in that something is really like Comicsgate's really imploding and something's really going wrong, is then of an actual child abuser, that umbrella guy who is fucking like not legally allowed to hold a job or some shit. There's all sorts of bizarre shit about him behind the scenes and in front of the scenes that nobody ever digs into either. One thing we know is he made up fake death threats against himself. He the rumor was he smashed his own mailbox, but on analysis, his mailbox was just taped up to the ground and fell over, and he blamed SJWs for smashing it and named a couple people who had alibis that were not even in the same state as him. He claimed he made a false claim of reporting us to the FBI, and also the real giveaway that was fake was that the FBI. He said the FBI told him that they already had a file on Thomas Royloop, which is a name that I made up months ago and had no history behind it, wasn't even Googleable. And in fact, Tug knew this. I mean, fucking, everyone in comic
obviously
movement around them knew this.
How much credit do you have to give him?
Yeah, exactly.
Realize,
but here's the thing.
Lying.
All of them pushed it, though. Everyone in Comicsgate pushed the lie without ever digging into it. They believed not even a rumor. It was just didn't even have a shred of evidence. In fact, there was evidence that directly disproved it. And the evidence was our video that Tug was making claims had death threats, but he never showed it and never linked to the channel or anything. Because of course he knew if people went and saw, they would see the evidence that he was lying, regardless of if they even believed it or not. So that's the history of Umbrella Guy, is a history of pathological lying. And also, I just found out like a couple days ago, the guy who supposedly called CPS on him was one of his friends that Tug knew, and the other guys in fucking the whatever grifter leech tuber movements, like a Yellow Umbrella, Flash, whatever the fuck, and Nick Ricada knew that this guy, like he went to them and said, hey, I'm going to pretend to report Umbrella Guy to the CPS. And they were like, okay, fucking, I think Nick Ricada actually said good luck or something. So, there's a lot of really bizarre shit going on. The scenes with all these people are pathological liars, top down. But now notice something must have happened where all of a sudden they're looking to make amends with Tim Lim and Iconic, because Iconic's having all the success without the permission of Comicsgate and Ethan Van Sciver, which behind the scenes we've confirmed Ethan is fucking furious about. Not even behind the scenes, but in front of the scenes. which fuck, I don't
Yeah,
have that fucking
I
caught it up right
baited
now.
him into basically just saying that he's so stupid.
Yeah, but here's the tweet. Let me read this. With direct replying is Umbrella Guy saying, "Oh, he got caught up in the stupid, but you know what? A lot of people did. I include myself there. There's the whole fake humility is the new grift. It's not
And you
really
know
a
it's
new
fake
grift. It's a
because
very old
he
one.
doesn't include an apology, and he doesn't
No,
bring up anything specific that he did, which
he
we have quantified. We have
wants in on
cataloged this shit.
all of these people, Richard and Donald and fucking Tug, and a lot of people want off the sinking ship. Something is going really wrong behind the scenes, that even we're not fully aware of, but we called was going to happen years ago.
And it was inevitability.
Yeah.
This wasn't difficult to figure out.
Yeah, it was like the as you showed that fucking you introduced me to this movie, and I'm actually very glad you did, where you showed the Jenga block scene from The Big Short, where fucking just if you haven't seen at least that scene, go fucking look it up after our delightful show. But that it was about the housing market collapse in 2008 because everyone just believed that the housing market couldn't collapse, and in fact when it started to collapse, everyone said that the opposite was going to happen. And the same thing happened with Comicsgate. It was all about gloating and bragging about how they were getting more successful with zero evidence of their growth, and in fact evidence to the contrary. Vicky and Da even do all those videos where they do the numbers where all of these comics are late by Comicsgate. They took in so much money, which the money amount is questionable, but even if it was real, that means that Comicsgate customers got ripped off for that much money, whereas Iconic Comics is delivering consistently all the time. And especially Tim and Mark. And I think there was something about one comic by Iconic, the Alejandro Mirabel's comic, Long Harbor, was supposedly like a couple months later, a few months later, something goofy like that. I got a copy for free. I got a gift copy, which is very nice. Thank you, Tim, for that, or thank you, Iconic Comics, for that. But here's the thing: I haven't read it yet because we have a bad history of that. I won't get into that right now, though. I would still recommend, fucking check if you go to iconiccomics.com or Google it or whatever, check out their comics. I can definitely vouch for all the fucking Common American ones. I can especially vouch for the fucking Walmart Gold Standard, especially those last 8 pages. Oh, so good. So good.
That was really great too, to see like just somebody brought that up out of nowhere. It's like, oh man, this is such a great fucking part of the comic. I love
Yeah,
this
people were
part.
like, Tim was telling me that people were really praising the ending. To give away the joke, me and my brother wrote the last 8 pages of Walmart 3, which is the ending now of the big collected edition, the Gold Standard edition. So, and that was a great gift, actually, that fucking Tim and Mark did for us.
But that was also something we wanted to make sure we worked on. We put in some effort because we wanted to make
fucking
sure.
like pre-brainstormed before the actual fucking story was presented. We're like, well, let's come up with some ideas, and we come up with some goofy ideas, and we had to throw away pretty much all of them, but still, it turned out to be not only a delightful thing, but even people who are sort of not aware that we did it were telling Tim like, oh, the ending is my favorite part. Just the last page alone with like the last words in the whole book are like, and that's the story of how the small business tax was repealed. It's just nothing to do with anything, just goofy shit.
Basically an MST3K reference in all things.
Yeah, in a way. And there was another MST3K reference in there because the reference to Riding with Death, where the guy's like, you've counted my every move, now let me see you counting this. But right before
Can't be, you're invisible.
Can't be, you're invisible. But there's also a Nurkish cameo. Finally, the Tim Lim and Nurkish fucking collaboration that we almost never got because of cash grab. Comicsgate essentially One of their first gay ops involved Cash Grab having to be canceled due to the whole movement lying, making up fake bullshit, and getting a comic canceled. That's what Comicsgate's legacy is. They fucking cancel creativity. They get not cancel culture necessarily, but they've actually gotten books canceled, good stuff. They cover up good books. They promote dog shit retarded books for stupid people. And then the good stuff either gets, has to be shut down, canceled, or gets covered up. In fact, I thought that was a really funny and really pathetic clip of a pathetic loser and beta cucklet, John Malin. Somebody brought up Tim and Mark on one of his streams, and they're like, "Oh, it's iconic," and Malin was immediately like fucking having a little panic, flustered, is stammering like a little bitch. Was like, "Don't, no, let's not talk about them." He was afraid to bring up iconic comics. It's like, hey, if they're not even your competition, what's the problem? And the problem is that people did the numbers. The latest fucking Common America book, without any Comicsgate backing, the latest Common America book fucking outdid Malin's book, got more customers. And the thing is, it's not about the money ultimately, because a lot of the money is fake on Indiegogo. And whereas on Kickstarter, it's about how many books you sell. So, and the thing is, they sell for less too. Like if Tim and Mark did what the rest of Comicsgate did, they'd be selling a book for like $100 or $200 each, and they would probably be making like $2 or $3 million per campaign. But instead, they sell their books for like $5 digital.
Well, I mean, the truth is, when you fucking price something up that high, you price yourself out of the market.
And you're basically, and the thing is, then what, we've gone into this, but they have a lot of rich pay pigs who sort of, pad the campaign with fake money, buying the expensive tiers. The average tier for Cyberfrog 2 was $200. That means people were paying $200 for a 48-page book. Something really stinks about that. But again, nobody else looks into that. Nobody does the due diligence about that except for
we
us.
did. And it's not even our job. I'm not a reporter. I'm not a fucking accountant.
We don't even really dig that much. We just fucking think. See, we're into freedom of speech, freedom of choice. I want to decide if I want the fucking giant rack of barbecue ribs or the fucking bacon grease sandwich, whatever. I don't remember the lines for that. But
that's also genius.
It's also a great Christmas movie. Isn't that, doesn't Demolition Man take place during Christmas or something?
I don't remember. I was trying to think there's some other. It's like, okay, Friday, because this Friday is Christmas.
Oh,
so the movie
so Friday must be a
Christmas
movie. You're right. Die Hard.
Die Hard, of course. Of course.
That's a meme at this point. That's a meme to troll Christians, which kind of funny, but whatever.
Feels good.
It is good. Trolling people, trolling for lack of a better term, is good. Anyways,
trolling works.
The Tug tweet though ends with, "It's damn easy and a colossal waste of time and energy. Now they're doing their thing, making money, and seem happier for it. All good for them with that success." This fucking child abuser trying to be like, "Hey guys, I'm on your side."
He wanted them out of the fucking business.
Yeah. And he won't admit that. He'll be like, "No, I didn't." He did. There's a tremendous tumbling amount of horse shit.
Tumbling dickweed.
Yeah, where's the fucking one with well, hold on. Holy shithead. Fucking, that's one of my favorite tweets, and I'll throw that on the screen in a second. But what was the other one where you got him like, "Hey, aren't you fucking you asked, very concerned troll, you asked Ethan if he was proud of Tim and Mark." Tim, maybe? Oh yeah, here it is. It was a very weird statement, in fact. Shit, I gotta number this.
Very strange.
We'll about wrap up with this though on a fucking. Oh yeah, this is fucking. Oh, this is so good, dude. It's so cool. I have to have it open, but the share Share screen window. I just remembered this out of nowhere, and it's so good. First, yeah. Shenyongo asks, "Was Nasser ever paid?" And to be honest, it's a really good question. I have no idea. I would like to know, but at the same time, it's kind of irrelevant. I mean, it's a good question. It's extremely worthwhile, but at the same time, it is completely pointless because for years, when it came down to doing the right thing, to doing right and fucking making the correct moral choice, Donald didn't. Not caring if there would be consequences, not caring about his reputation, even. And ultimately, you can't even fucking say, well, maybe he learned a lesson, because it doesn't matter if he learned a lesson. I would never work with Donald DeLay ever in my entire life. I wouldn't give him a mop
Yeah,
job.
why would you oh, did he fucking change? No.
And it's not up to me to say either, but if I had some kind of say in what Iconic Comics did, I would never fucking work or have any involvement with Donald DeLay or anyone like him. That's just my personal opinion. And the same for guys like Ethan and Tug and all these people that clearly they're looking like they're jumping ship and trying to get onto the ship that's flying away on a cloud of magic and fucking supremacy and superior genetics, if you will. Just a cloud of superior genetic material just shooting into the sky for miles. But here's though, just to go to show this from like last year. Ethan Van Sciver, even his fucking like Twitter name, when he changes his Twitter handle or display name, there's something kind of mentally ill about it. The old evil sunshine guy, because he knows the whole fake narrative about him being the human sunbeam was such an obvious lie when people were seeing him devolving into screaming fits. And right here is a perfect example.
And getting played too. Just getting played.
This is his response to the earlier, like fucking maybe earlier this year. It wasn't even last year. It was like just earlier in 2021. His reaction to the success of Tim and Mark and Doug Ernst, the Soul Finder books, going on Iconic and selling a bunch. Ethan Van Sciver says, the Lim Ernst Pelly shithead side of the aisle has been quietly stoking conflict towards me since I first started CG Live. Shrug emoji. Of course, that's part of the false narrative. None of that's ever been true. Also, what kind of man whines about stoking conflict towards? If you're such a success, who cares about stoking conflict?
Yeah, it will never matter.
Yeah, if you were really making millions on your crowdfunding campaigns, somebody quietly stoking conflict is completely irrelevant because you're making millions unless something is going wrong and none of that's actually fucking happening. If the millions you're claiming to make don't actually exist. But again, that's just speculation on my part, but it's backed up by his behavior. You wouldn't act like this if you were really making millions on your comic. You wouldn't be bothered by somebody quietly stoking conflict, as if it's like, oh no, somebody quietly stoked conflict against me. People have loudly stoked lying conflict about us and been posting hoaxes and getting all their YouTube friends to make videos pushing the hoax. I mean, we want to do a video about just gloating about how Literature Devil made a video pushing a lie about us, and he had to delete it when all of the evidence proved it wrong, and he realized he was backing a complete hoax because all of Comicsgate is inherently based on listen and believe feminism, by nature, not by me saying that, but through their actions. But that's the thing, is that none of their beliefs are true. Ethan is one of the most thin-skinned people and the most unmilked lol cow in the history of the entire internet. He's more than fucking even Chris Chan.
There's an interest accrued of the fucking
Yes.
milk that needs to be milked.
And people like Ethan really love their interest. But also, but yeah, just the way that it's so overlooked. The fucking, if you calculated it by that, it would be quantifiable. You can go by the quant. But here's the other thing: is that you tweeted. This is when. Well, here it is. My review for Common America Black Ops series is live. I'm recommending the amazing comics. They are so fun. Blah, blah, blah. And you quote tweeted it saying, "This is a huge victory for Comicsgate." And you tag Ethan saying, "Ethan Van Sciver must be so proud of them right now." And this was a very easy setup for Ethan to be like, "Yeah, they're doing great." But Ethan can't do that. He's not capable of it. And by the way, notice this one has an archive link. All the other tweets are real, of course, and most likely still up on his account. He does regularly go and delete his old tweets because of stuff like this, though. The same reason that Liam Gray deletes his fucking streams, and well, Ethan's been deleting his streams, and Richard C. Meyer actually deleted hundreds of his videos recently. We did a video about that too. I think that's on the Subscribe Star. It might even just be a public on our fucking channel. But this is the thing, is that they can't help it. They're mentally ill people who are pathological liars and sociopaths. They can't help revealing what they actually think. So here's the human sunbeam being the little bitch that he actually is, closeted homosexual. And again,
Maybe
not my speculation. He proved that.
Son bitch.
Yeah. He says, "Why would I be proud of two middle-aged conservative men?" Is that a bad thing? I thought Comicsgate was supposed to be about supporting conservatives. That's what Ethan himself has been on stream saying. But
he said it on stream and he's tweeted it too.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are those tweets gone?
He said two middle-aged conservative men. Both of them are younger than Ethan. Just because Ethan looks like he's 80 doesn't mean he's not middle-aged.
He doesn't know what middle-aged even means.
Yeah, well, he wouldn't at this point. He's fucking lost it. His mind is torn like Liam Gray. That's why when you see Ethan go after Liam Gray, it's because he is the exact same kind of person. Even Liam Gray could identify that. Liam was like, "We're just like the exact same kind of person." And you know what? Liam Gray is completely correct. Liam Gray's right. They are the exact same kind of person. They both have fucking bipolar disorder. And they both are, both of their minds have torn by having to be confronted by their own words.
They have no talent and they have no skill.
And they're gay. They're both gay too. So there's that.
Oh man, why are they doing that?
Both of them in fake marriages. Very tragic. Very sad. But he says, so two middle-aged conservative men who made a comic reminiscent of Sailor Moon. That's creepy as fuck. Good luck to them. Gee, do you think he's saying good luck to them in sincerity, though? I don't know. Comicsgate doesn't know. Comicsgate's not able to sort of compute. It doesn't. Their coding is too simple. The NPC of Comicsgate, which is all of them, of course, the Comicsgate NPC can't really compute the sort of the context, the concept of context. Computers haven't advanced that much where they can really figure out context yet. So nobody in Comicsgate understands context, as this proves right here. This isn't me saying this. This is something that was proven here, where people in Comicsgate saw this and didn't have anything to say because it did. They weren't able to mentally process it because they're not smart enough. They're not actually human beings. But yeah, the part where he says that's creepy as fuck, sort of, not to spoil the mystery for anyone, but that sort of gives away the sincerity about good luck to them. And you can go to the archive link down there. You could just type it in and check it out for yourself and see that the tweet is indeed real, even if Ethan later deletes it, which he may not have, because guys like Liam
certainly doesn't want
other lol cows like Chris Chan, Liam Gray and Ethan Van Sciver, identical to Chris Chan, don't think that what they've done is wrong. They don't understand. They don't know. And it's very sad, very gay, very paused, if you will. But yeah, that we've noticed though, what's happening lately is something is happening where a lot of people in Comicsgate are noticing that things are going very wrong for them and their movement. And now there's all this kissing up to guys that they slandered and lied about and have actively worked to deplatform.
They are praying nobody calls them on this either.
Yes.
Because they know if somebody does, they're finished forever.
And we do that, but that's because we've always been the first to point out the truth. Sometimes we jump a little too eagerly on it, and to no downside, no consequences. The closest to consequences are we get people to destroy their reputations permanently by proving that they're for censorship, like fucking Liam Gray's. There's another thing. We'll wrap up in a second, but one thing I want to mention about Liam Gray's streams is, and a lot of people will be like, "Oh, look at Liam Gray's fucking crazy ass streams," but digging into the depths of what he's actually saying, he's now pretending that the times that he posted that Xenosaga comic to a website and linked people to it, and that he was bragging about it getting 1 million views, he now is claiming that that was an imposter who is also Australian, which is why it created, the confusion with people. So he's actually saying that the version of him on stream that was telling people to check out that comic was an imposter. So he's gone completely schizophrenic. And I think it's pretty clear that he's off his meds. The thing is, though, with schizophrenics, they can be on their meds and still be like this. The medication doesn't always work. It's just supposed to tamp down their craziness. But I wouldn't be surprised if Liam was off his meds. And you know what I say? Go ahead. Be as off your meds as you. What could possibly go wrong?
Honestly, though, I don't even think schizophrenia is an excuse.
No, at this point, you can't even a schizophrenic wouldn't try to tell people, yeah, this me that I was on was not me. And in fact, he was claiming that the files were stolen, even though he's on stream saying like, oh, this comic was, it's got 1 million views. So he's accusing himself of stealing them.
A real schizophrenic would actually want to get better. And would not want this kind of thing happening.
Yeah,
trying to avoid this. Trying to protect.
And Liam is jumping in with both feet. And the thing is, it's why
it's not schizophrenic behavior, it's childish behavior.
Yeah.
He's behaving like a little kid would.
A stupid, like one of those little kids that just discovered lying and is wondering how far they can take it. Like, how much can I lie and get away with it before my life is just over?
He was raised incorrectly as a joke.
Yes. And he's raised himself incorrectly. Liam Gray has also raised himself incorrectly as a joke.
That's the worst part is he doesn't even have that excuse.
And it's important to point out, and we've gone over this in lots of other videos and stuff, but it's important to always reiterate
on this more and more.
Liam Gray tried to blackmail people for our docs, and Ethan Van Sciver paid him to do that. And we did a stream about that a few weeks ago. Actually, the beginning of the month, where we we show the evidence for that. And it's conclusive. And by the way, also important to point out, there has been zero attempt to refute it from anyone, especially Ethan. Now, if he tries, of course, it will be, listen to me and believe what I say with zero evidence, or it will be ad hominem. He will, and he's already done that shit in other cases, but he will always resort to ad hominem because Ethan's not capable of anything. He's not capable of higher thinking. Which is why everyone's now dumping Comicsgate, which is the Ethan Van Sciver brand. There's no question about that. Ethan himself admitted that on stream, but usually those streams he'll go and delete, and they're fucking years old and that kind of shit. But we were the first people to play Ethan Van Sciver into contradicting himself live on stream, and we've talked about that tons of times. That was on the Nick Rekieta show, where Rekieta actually behind the scenes had taken a deal to take Ethan's side. And again, that's not me saying that. I'm not guessing. Other people who know Nick Rekieta personally told me that. And Ricada actually showed it by. I always thought this was really suspicious that nobody else ever points out. But about an hour in, Ricada brings somebody else in to take Ethan's side. And it's like, the audience is already against me because they're, listen and believe inherently. They're fucking slavishly worshiping.
Like he's
The nature of
worried
church
that
is that they
somebody
worship
might listen
status
to the
inherently.
video. He should
But
be
then
worried.
why would you, if Ethan was like, doing any good in the whole thing, why would you have to bring somebody else on to take his side against me? I thought, if you're really unbiased, why you bring on other people for his side and then not also mine? And it's because, as I found out, Ricada was actually pissed off at me. He was already pissed off at me because I was disagreeing with somebody who he had made friends with in order to build up his channel. That he was essentially paying to build up his channel because he's a trust fund kid, and he was already saying when he didn't even have 10,000 subscribers, he was saying, I'm closing my legal practice to become a YouTuber full time, and I'm like, isn't that not really guaranteed? Turns out it is if you buy subscribers, and
I still wouldn't do it because I mean, what is really your passion in life?
mhm. Yeah, I mean, why would you love YouTubing that much? We just did this because we're doing this on Christmas Eve because all this shit just happened today. Aside from that, how often do we even stream? Like fucking once every 3 months or something.
And even
YouTube
then,
is
it's
a
like,
gay
this is
idea for a
something-
job.
This is something we have an understanding of.
Yeah, we just do this to
Automatically.
tell the truth, which nobody else is capable of saying.
Not to mention just the whole computer element. That fucking Ethan probably had to fucking pay somebody to help him understand which key is the NE key.
Well, yeah.
He's just such a boomer piece of shit.
Which is for sure the worst thing you can be. And also, Nick Ricada, a beta man. There's a reason why his last name rhymes with beta, because in his behavior, he is a beta male. Fucking accidentally blew him the fuck out and made him start crying on stream like a little bitch. And again, that's not me. None of this is me like speculating, or none of this is my opinion. All of it's fucking completely objectively quantifiable.
It's something
So,
we've already covered in other videos.
Yeah.
And
Almost
I'm tired
too
of
much,
hearing
but
people. I am
we cover it too
beyond
much, but it's worth
for
bringing up every time.
eternity done with people being like, "Where's your proof? Where's your double blind verified source?
Where's your study? Where's your study that proves?
Where's your source? Source, please. Source. I need a source. No,
The
not
source
from that.
is me.
Not that source. I need a source that is from a website that I go to frequently.
That I agree with. Yeah, that's
You have a
it is unironically
college degree in that.
that's used to make fun of like the whole Vouch fan and the skeptics and stuff, but that unironically describes like all of the
Yeah, it
Comicsgate
perfectly
and the fucking
applies to a
fandom
lot
menace
of these
people.
people. It's almost like they're exactly the same.
Oh, look, DA Talk showed up. Guess what? You just showed up in time to miss the entire show. Good show. Share, comment,
subscribe.
unsubscribe, downvote. Hit the downvote, which boosts us in the algorithm. Oh no, you didn't know that, did you? More importantly, though, our subscribe star, which it doesn't actually have any adult content, but somebody in Comicsgate tried to flag our channel to fucking get the link blocked, and that didn't work. The same way that Liam Gray tried to flag or to copyright strike our stuff, and it got thrown out because we didn't violate any copyright law in any way. Including DMCA, which is specifically for American copyright law, but he lives in Australia. But even Australian copyright law wasn't violated. And he's like I think it's funny and worth mentioning just real quick again that he is so broken about that. His mind is so torn that he has to now deny that he himself is actually himself and pretend that he stole files from himself illegally. While also bragging that the files he stole from himself got 1 million views on the website that he uploaded, but that were stolen from him. And just
that really burns
crazy,
too.
top tier crazy shit.
You
But
know
also,
fucking
like, if you
can't
pushed, that's
stand
because
that.
Liam was pushed with the truth. If anyone did that with Ethan directly, or any of these other people, these other leech tubers like Nick Rekieta or fucking Tug or any of them, if anyone pushed them even 1% as hard as Liam Gray got pushed, they would break all the same because they're not used to being questioned. And in fact, they get really angry. Rekieta himself gets fucking furious when you question him even a little bit, or just the slightest mockery. And we've proven that objectively. That's already happened. But even guys like Preston Poulter fucking snapped when he made porn of himself and it got shown. It's like, really good way to avoid that. Don't make porn of yourself. Anyways, so good show. If you want to see more videos at all, or just support the only people telling the truth about any of this shit, about the leech tubers and the SJWs and all of it, we were doing it before anyone else on YouTube was doing it, and that's objectively provable as well. All of that's objectively quantifiable because the evidence was right there in front of everyone's face, and people just spent years ignoring it. If you don't want to spend years ignoring what everyone else will be saying, because what happened today was what we were saying about Comicsgate being proven true yet again. The whole thing's imploding and they're looking to jump ship. We said that was going to happen, and now it's happening, as we've just shown. So if you want to be ahead of the curve like we are, donate to our Subscribe Star. Just give us money. You could just give me money on PayPal or something. There's also a Bitcoin donation link thing below if you want to give us Bitcoin, because I'll take Bitcoin. Bitcoin's starting to go back up. So if you give us a tiny bit of Bitcoin and it goes up in value, then it's like you gave us more money without giving us more money, which is nice. And again, we're getting comics made as well. In fact, if you want to check out one of our comics on Iconic Comics, go to Iconic Comics, Google it, or iconiccomics.com. I'm pretty sure. Well, hold on a second, because I fucking iconiccomics.com. Yeah, here it is, iconiccomics.com. And if I can fucking scroll
One thing's
down,
for sure is we definitely need help getting the word out.
yeah, we actually need help because people deplatform us, the SJWs and Comicsgate. And again, none of this is me like making accusations. We have the evidence showing that it happened. Here it is. Oh shit! Fucking autograph edition version available. I gotta say, here, Walmart Gold Standard though. If you go down, it's $40 for the whole thing because it's several books long. If you want to check out some of our goofier writing, the last 8 pages are our backup story. Very fun. If you want to check out, though, some of the others, Literally is available on Literally #1, available on on Webtoon, but also you can get the book of it on Amazon, digital or physical. And Villains of the Snow Sea #1 and #2, also available on Amazon. Here's the thing. DA Talks mentions you guys are on iComic now. We have been actually for a good long while, for a year or two now. Is one of our comics
before anyone else, before Richard or any of these other people.
It's not even a little bit a way around it, because the thing is, we don't make money off this, but I still recommend this comic because it's a fun. The Walmart comics are fun, goofy stuff, and I still would tell anyone to buy it, to at least support Tim and Mark. And then if you want to support us, you can even if you're like, oh, I don't like Amazon, which I understand. I don't like Amazon either. If you want to get our digital copies on Gumroad, that's also available. I think the Gumroad link is below. It's also in the card link, which is cool. I think no, it's not, but it's linked below anyways. But yeah, check us out on Iconic Comics. Hey, maybe one day you'll see Richard and Donald DeLay and Tug. Maybe their comics will be on Iconic someday. I don't know. No, it's not for me to say. Maybe never. But our books are on Iconic. Do you think that Tug will apologize to us, or Donald will apologize to us though? Because I mean, our books are on the site too. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. But check out, if you actually want good comics, It is. I saw that tweet recently that was about how gatekeeping actually is important if you're going to keep out the people who are going to destroy your material and your medium and all that shit. You do have to gatekeep the SJWs out because they're not interested in better comics. The thing is, you also have to gatekeep Comicsgate out because they're just scammers too, and proven in practice by their fucking actual practice of their behavior, their actual comics, which are dog shit across the board. Richard C. Myers never made even a mediocre comic. All of them are way below mediocre at best. Whereas if you really want good comics, absolutely go to Iconic Comics. Even the worst comic on Iconic Comics is better than the best comic by Comicsgate. And our comics also.
Comicsgate's only made like 2 comics anyway in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Comicsgate had a head start above or in front of Tim and Mark.
And Tim and Mark have just fucking lapped them. And that's the thing is that there's going to be some cope. Like, no, Tim and Mark don't make as much money. Tim and Mark clearly are making more money and selling to more people, having more growth, more customers, all that shit. Their whole circle is bigger. They're selling to more people than Comicsgate. Comicsgate's backers, first of all, are fake because, again, we've gone over the math of that. The Comicsgate, the Indiegogo backing is incredibly easy to fake, and they've admitted to doing it in the past. But the actual quality is easy to find if you care about actual quality, which a lot of people don't. I understand that. But if you want it, fucking Iconic Comics, absolutely, for sure. And our comics, which one of them's on Iconic Comics. But also, we're going the cheap route. But if you want to support the real, like, not just people who tell the truth, but people who are actually putting their money where their mouth is about making better comics.
For me,
superior comics.
Not even you can support us because we're bringing all this truth. But for me, I mean, I want to make comics, and I'm about to fucking get one.
That was another thing. Yeah, that was another thing I wanted to get into is that you're fucking like in sort of pre-production and about to start your own book too.
It's on the verge of starting right now.
Yeah, and I'm trying to sort of get to the point where I can write a brand new fucking story that me and my brother have worked together.
Yeah,
so that's what we're looking. That's what we're going towards next year. Whereas everyone else is fucking.
Everyone else worked together. We collaborated to make just this really, really fun, cool comic.
We actually put the script on the big screen in the living room and then scrolled through it. And like you were saying, oh, how about this? And I'm like, okay, I'll put that in.
We really did. We did the work. We put in the work and really like measured our options. Yes. It's like, what's best to do here? What's the best idea we can have for here?
Yeah,
what's
because
if you're going to do thing, what's going to be the coolest thing?
Yeah, ideally next year is going to have at least some growth for us with that. We're working on, getting more books out there. But again, it's been slow going because when you tell the truth, you have the pathological liars trying to stop you. And that's not my opinion either. Speaking of which, Villains of the Snow Sea Chapter 3. I don't have an artist for that anymore, so I'm not sure when I have the script's written, it's ready to go. I just don't have the artist and I don't have the money. If we had the money that fucking other people were getting in Comicsgate, we could put out like 10 books out.
Just imagine if we did what Comicsgate did and just lied to everybody and scammed all their money. But we would actually have something to show for
of fucking fixing all their problems when you have no intent. And also at the same time, when it comes to comic books, people don't care about them being better. People say, oh, I want comics to be better, but they don't know how to make them better. We do, and we've done videos specifically about
unfortunately
the tried and tested proofs.
You have to kind of blame the fucking audience that has existed for comics for such a long time.
Yeah, that's the thing is that when it comes to gatekeeping, you have to keep the bad people.
It's a new gate. We're going to have to construct a completely new gate, and we're going to have to. It's going to have to be the strongest gate ever.
We already have.
You're going to have to keep out every person who has ever been into Cape shit before.
We've already done that. That's over. We won. Fucking. It's called telling the truth. When you tell the truth, you instantly repel the dishonesty.
It's like fucking. It's like Greek fire combined with napalm.
Combined with magnets. It oppositely repels the fucking people
It's just fucking.
who are
It's
inherently dishonest.
like a nuclear fucking bomb.
So yeah,
Just
if you're interested in
only
the people who
targets
are
comic
honest and
bag.
actually good and know how to make comics that are good, and which is the writing is the key to it, then you should actually support us. Like, unshare, comment, resubscribe, unsubscribe, and resubscribe, and should have listened to Shitty Webcomics.